Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you guys are doing well and staying connected, staying aligned. So, the other day, I was watching one of my videos, and I never really watch my own videos because, like, once I finish editing and put it out there, I'm like, all right, next. And it's just because I've watched it so many times while editing that I don't really care to watch them again after. But sometimes I do like to go back and look at my old stuff. Anyways, I was watching an older video, and it was a video that I made before leaving for yoga teacher training last year. In that video, I showed myself like getting ready to prepare for yoga teacher training, but I also talked about my direction in life and how I feel about purpose. And a point that I mentioned in that video was how I really resonate with living a purposeful life rather than living for just one purpose or having one purpose in life, if that makes sense. And I really wanted to expand on this topic in a separate video and dive deeper into that because this is something that I have been actually practicing more of in my life and seeing, and I wanted to talk a little more about it. When it comes to purpose, I think many of us think that we're supposed to find our purpose, right? Or our purpose is a career or a job. Like, my purpose is to be a doctor, or my purpose is to be a lawyer, my purpose is to be a teacher, my purpose is to be a yoga teacher, and we think that a purpose is a career. And that's why we struggle so much with, like, oh, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to do? Da 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 da. And to me, that is such a limited view or a limited way of looking at purpose. And the way that I see it is, I think it's more about living a purposeful and intentional life where, because you are purposeful and intentional with your life, everything you do, most of the actions you're taking have purpose, and you find purpose through your daily life, through what you're doing, through what you are embodying. You don't need to wait to get to a purpose, wait to get to this career, or even find a purpose. I feel like purpose is something you embody, it is something you are. When you walk through life with purpose, you are in your purpose. When you walk through life intentionally, when you walk through life consciously, it has a ripple effect because everything you do, or most of the things you do at least, become purposeful. When you become intentional about the way you navigate this life, then maybe you will naturally be drawn to certain careers or drawn to certain things because, at the end of the day, as much as we like to talk shit about it, we do live in this matrix and we need to make money. And so, through being intentional with our actions, we can be guided to different career paths and different jobs that help us be in purpose, or fulfill purpose, I guess. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that one thing is our purpose, because we can find it through even simple everyday actions. One of the reasons why we're here as well is to, of course, be of service, and to also remember God, to remember our connection to God, to everyone, to everything, to remember the interconnectedness of everything. But through that remembrance, through returning to our souls, remembering who we truly are beyond these bodies, we naturally will live more intentional and purposeful lives. And we will naturally be drawn to actions that are of service or that fulfill a purpose. And it's so funny because I used to always be like, what is my thing? What am I supposed to do? And I don't know, for me, I don't know if anyone else can relate. The way that I operate, having just one purpose or one thing, it feels limiting to me. And, like, for example, like being a yoga teacher. Being a yoga teacher, that doesn't feel fully fulfilling to me to just do that. You know what I mean? That is my purpose. And same with event coordinating and even making these YouTube videos. Like, these things are just things that I've come across in my path that I deeply resonate with and that I want to share. And this is just what I am doing in my life right now to bring fulfillment, to my life and to be of service. And who knows? In a few years, it might be something else. In a few years, I might be guided to be somewhere else, to do something else. But if I focus more on just living purposefully and intentionally every day with most of the actions that I am taking, I can trust that I will always be guided to what I am meant to do and what I'm meant to do in that moment. And if that shifts and changes, that's fine. And if there's something that is just one thing that sticks, that stays stable for me, then that's fine too. But just thinking of purpose as like, oh, this one career or this one thing or this one path, it can really box us in and then make us worry even more, like, oh my god, well, what is it for me? What is this thing? When is it going to come to me? When am I going to realize it? It's like through remembrance, through remembering who we are, through remembering our connection to everything, to God, to source, to the universe, through bettering ourselves as people, we naturally will take purposeful actions, and we will take actions that feel fulfilling for our souls and that also fulfill other people's lives as well. Last night I made a meal for my family, and in that moment last night, my purpose or whatever was to be making that meal and to nourish my family with some yummy healthy food, and I could find fulfillment through that in that moment. Like, I don't need this huge thing to feel so fulfilled, because what I was doing it intentionally and I was present. And so I wasn't needing to look for some huge thing to give me purpose, if that makes sense. You are also being purposeful when you take care of yourself, because when you take care of yourself, you are able to show up better for the people around you, for the world, and for yourself as well. And that's really what it's all about, especially when we talk about making an impact. Taking care of ourselves matters, and that is purposeful. I think it was Ram Dass that said this, but I think he said anything done with deep presence and intention can be a spiritual practice, and it's the same for your purpose. I see it the same way when it comes to purpose. Anything that is done with good intention and done from a space of connectedness, with yourself, can be a part of your purpose. I honestly feel like it's less about the huge actions and the huge things and more about the little things you're doing every day, to show up for yourself, to show up for other people, and just being conscious of your actions. Being conscious of your actions is already living in your purpose. I truly believe that. Like, I really believe it's not that complicated. It's not this like one thing that you're gonna wake up and be like, whoa, that's it. Yeah, doctor. Like, I don't think it goes like that. Now, if as you take conscious actions and live in alignment and live intentionally and prioritize these things, then you feel inspired to be a doctor. That's one thing. That's just a part of the path. But the path itself is purpose. It is why we are here. And we are also just here to learn and experience and grow our souls. Like, our souls came here to learn. So there's that aspect of it as well, knowing that learning and growing is also a part of your purpose and also part of the reason why you are here. Now, how do we live purposefully? It is about being intentional with the way you take care of yourself, with the way you interact with others, the way you interact with the world, taking the time to nourish your spirit, to do the practices that bring you into alignment with yourself and back into remembrance of your connection to everything. Being present as well. Being present is a huge part of living an intentional life. Not thinking so much about what is my purpose, what am I supposed to do, and being present in the here and now. Figuring out what are the actions I can take now that feel fulfilling and purposeful to me. Maybe taking a look at your life and asking if the things that you're doing and the things you're putting your energy into are fulfilling your soul and are bringing purpose into your life, and then maybe making changes according to the information that you gain from reflection as well, writing things down, looking at your thoughts. These are ways we can be more intentional with the way that we interact with ourselves, with the world, with everything. Also, living purposefully is being committed to your growth, your soul's evolution. So looking at the parts of yourself that maybe not the prettiest to look at, but facing that and being willing to grow and shift and change so that you can show up in this world within your fullest potential and from a connected space. And yeah, I can expand more on living a purposeful life in future videos if you would like me to, but that is how I see it, at least, or the gist of how I see it. It's just being conscious. It's literally just being conscious as much as you can, because we can get sucked back into this humanness and ego and stuff like that. And those moments are okay, nothing to beat ourselves up about, as long as we pull ourselves out of it, gracefully. Now, of course, we want to do things that fulfill us. We want to find things that we want to do with our lives, I guess. And those things come. It comes. It'll come the more, like I said, the more that you commit to remembering your connection, to learning and growing your soul, committing to your soul's evolution. These paths will come. Now, obviously, I'm not saying you just sit and don't do any work. Like, I'm saying the idea of what it is that you should do will come. And we have so many unique different gifts. So different things appeal to different people, which is what is beautiful about this life. And we are multifaceted as well. We can have multiple gifts. And maybe some of us have gifts that pertain to one field, and that is beautiful as well. But we can have a multitude of things that we offer and gifts and things like that. Of course, in our society, we're brainwashed to think like, yeah, it is a career. Like, this is your thing. And no, a career is just a part of life. It is a part of life. It is a way that you are serving. It is not who you are, but it's a great part of life. But when you tune more in to living intentionally, living in the present moment, tuning in with your connection, that's when things feel fulfilling. And that's when you don't need to worry about a purpose, because you are the embodiment of purpose. And that's when it gets fun, because then you find yourself naturally being drawn to actions and to things that fulfill you, that fulfill your soul, that don't fulfill, your identity, or just fulfill your pockets, but not, your spirit. It becomes fun, because then you can find different avenues, and experience all these different aspects of life, because as we are more than this, yes, but we also came here to experience this and to be a part of it and to play these roles. I'm playing this role as Samaiya right now, and I got to show up to the play. Like, I can't just dip and be like, I am above all of this. Like, I am here. So it is fun to then figure it out and to then be drawn to certain things or even careers that feel fulfilling. We don't need to worry so much about the exact career. That's kind of how I see it, and that's how I see purpose. But yeah, that is what I wanted to talk about today. And I feel like I was talking so much. I don't know how organized my thoughts were, but basically my point is that purpose is the way you live your life. And through leading and living purposeful and intentional lives, through our actions, through our consistent daily actions, we're able to find purpose in everything that we do, or in most things that we do, at least. Don't feel pressured to find your purpose, because you already are it. You can already embody living purposefully. Allow yourself to just release that pressure and trust that you'll be guided to the exact actions you need to do and the things that are asked of you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here and for watching this video. I really appreciate you. I hope you are having a wonderful April so far. And yeah, that is it from me. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.